Right, is X. So congratulations once again for your big win. We have clips of you when you were just a little girl. Judy Koskei, at the time, who worked here, did a story on how your musical journey began, and you were just a little girl. So this journey for you started at a very tender age. Share that with us.
It did. It started, in fact, it didn't even start when I was 9. It started when I was 4, just singing in weddings, people's functions. Then I guess over time I got noticed because of singing with Emi Koskei. And then Judy Koskei, who interviewed me around the time, kind of blew me up, and from there it was like light camera action.
Great. So Emi Koskei has played a role in mentoring you to, during this journey towards your musical career?
For sure. She mentored me largely in the initial stages because we spent so much time together, almost as sisters, and she taught me how to perform, basically. And so I really counted on her for a lot of the skills that I then got to practice more and then become an individual within the industry. And I would say we're still friends today, but I took a lot of what I learned and turned it into my own thing, and now I'm who I am.
And your parents as well really have been supportive over the years. I watched a clip of you and your mom, and she was just sharing how she met a lady in a supermarket and you were singing, and how that lady said, "This child is very talented."
My folks have honestly, I mean, without my folks' parents, I don't think I'd be anywhere near where I am today, because, you know, it's not just about the money that is put in, it's also about the sacrifices that are made and the time that is put in to be present in all of this, and it helps me become a lot mentally stronger, knowing that I have someone that I can count on my side. And you know, they've been my best friends through the process, and I'm just grateful, and I can encourage other parents to do the same, because I'm only here because of the support that I got from them.
Right. So Afrima, huge win for you, and indeed you've done Kenya really proud. But this is not your first nomination and award. 2019 was also a big year for you. How do these awards, the nomination and the award itself, how has this impacted your career as a performing artist? What has changed? I
mean, I think there's the fact that there's a lot of press that comes in and makes a big deal out of it, and then you grow within the social media platforms. However, I think it's just given me a lot more drive, because I think now I can see that my work is being appreciated across the borders, and there's people who are actually important in the industry who have literally mentored and been part of a lot more bigger artist stories. So it's been awesome to know that these are people that see potential in me, and so all it does is just make me work 10 times harder than I already do, in the hopes that I can be where those other people are, or even bigger.
And talking about where other people are, and you know, just the fact that you trounced big names, Adekunle Gold, Elaine, Wizkid. For you, let's talk about your genre. And you sing mostly in English, so you have, your language is universal. People can relate to your message and to your content.
Exactly.
So for you, winning this award against such big names, that moment for you, what did that feel like?
I think first of all, it had a lot to do with the fact that my music isn't just listened to here in Africa. There's a lot more people who are out there, and I also got to learn that the Afrima group and the music society that they have there aren't just looking at the views that are there for the music, but are listening to the music and the quality of it, and then dubbing you whatever award that you got. So that first, that's what's been important. But for me, it's honestly, it's just something that I'm grateful for. It was initially very intimidating to be put against or up there with such people, but I'm just grateful. Yeah.
Yeah, and as you received your award, you talked about Karun, and that was very humble of you, because I know she had been nominated as well.
They had been nominated in the same category. I mean, I think we are so competitive in the industry that we forget to pull each other up. I think in the industry as well, we don't really have a similar goal, or even if we do have the similar goal of all becoming successful, we are not working towards it intentionally and making sure that everybody gets a seat at the table. So I think for me that moment was appreciating the fact that these ladies inspire me every single day, and they have been in the industry as long or even longer than I have been. And so it would also be unfair for me to leave them out. I love them so much, and if I got to mention everybody that was there, I would have. But it's very important for people to know that we as Africa are trying to spread across the world. And how will you do that as an individual? You can't. You have to do it collectively and garner all these people and be successful together.
Well said. So you sing about love, and you're only 19 years old. So a lot of depth. A lot of depth for somebody as young as you are. Is this intentional, your messaging? And also your song Tragedy, that addressed violence in romantic relationships. And so is that intentional? Is your messaging the women empowerment, the love, you know, a lot of celebration of the woman in your content? Is that the direction you're going with your music, with your messaging, with your content?
I think that's just a side of me, which is what I called my EP, what I call my EP. When I talk about these things, love and gender-based violence, sometimes people assume that you have to be a certain age to be able to talk about these things, but you don't realize that that's just a construct that has been formed over time in a conservative society that we have here. And so there's a lot more people, a lot more kids who can tell these stories, or even if it's not for themselves, then it's for other people. So some of these stories I haven't gone through myself. However, I stay around people who've been in toxic relationships. I've heard people who have gone through gender-based violence, and so what can I do if I've been blessed with the ability to express it artistically? It's just to represent them. So it's very intentional, and I'll be talking about a lot of other things. It's not just limited to that. So I look forward to people hearing other stuff that I have.
That's good. So people will not forgive me if you don't do a little sing-song, just something. I mean, it could be, okay, my favorite is X, but I don't know.
Guys, can you hear how I'm talking? My voice disappeared, so sorry if it's like croaky, but let me take the key down. I ain't tryna be your ex, so don't call me if you ain't tryna vibe on my wave. I'm on top of my game. I'm on my wave, and I'm on my wave, yeah.
So, what are we expecting as we close, Nikita? What are we expecting to hear from Nikita going forward? 4-time Afrima Award winner, and I must, of course, mention that she is also among the top 40 under 40.
Crazy.
That's huge.
Crazy.
At 19. So, okay, let's begin with the top 40 under 40. Because we've touched on Afrima, but there's also a lot more about Nikita. So the top 40 under 40 for you.
It was crazy because it's nothing that we even applied for. I just woke up today morning and I found out. To be honest, it's a blessing, but you know, I sometimes have that imposter syndrome, wondering whether I deserve what I have. I think everyone has that. But I know how hard I've worked, and there's a lot that people don't see, but they will see in the forthcoming years. I'm just grateful, honestly, and to the people that decided that I should be part of that squad. There's so much more to come, and this is only driving me to work a lot harder than I already am. So, guys, just be surprised. You're asking me my goal for 2022. I can't even say it because I know what I can do. I don't know what the results will be, but I'm just going to work as hard as possible, and let's see what that comes.
Right, we're going to close by going back to your award, Afrima 2021. What direction do you see this taking you in terms of the opportunities that lie now that you've gotten this award? Are we expecting collaborations? Are we expecting, what are we expecting from Nikita going forward?
Well, to be quite honest, anyone who waits for me to win an award, to have a collaboration with me is not worth experiencing my art. It's not worth sharing a table with me artistically. I don't think an award should really describe how good you are at your art. So despite this accolade, the same people who I would have worked with before are the same ones that I'll work with today. It doesn't make a difference. What I will say though is that the opportunity to be at the business summit that they had and to interact with a lot more players in the game, it opened my mind even more, and it makes me a lot more experimental with my sound, and that's what people will see, a lot more experimentation with it. However, everyone that was there before is still considered, so let's see where it goes from here.
So we're closing now. What does Nikita do away from the music? You're 19. Are you in school? What are you doing away from the music? What does Nikita do for fun?
Well, I graduated from Brookhouse. I did a course in business and technology in music. Graduated last year, June. What do? I cook. I'm forced to wash dishes. No, I'm joking.
So at home, as far as mom and dad are concerned, you're not this big celebrity.
No, bruh, I'm not. And I milk cows and I drink a lot of milk. That's what I do. Honestly, I'm just like an ordinary 19-year-old. There's nothing different.
An ordinary 19-year-old who's doing big things.
Thank you.
And we're so glad you found time to be with us. I know you've had a hectic week.
You have no idea.
Thanks for coming through.
I'm so pleased to be here.
The very talented Nikita Kering right here on Friday night. She walked home with 2 awards at the All Africa Music Awards in Lagos, Nigeria over the weekend. We're very proud of her as a country. We're taking a break. We're back with more in just a bit. Kenya's energy demands in a historic peak, signaling increased economic activities after removal of COVID-19 containment measures.
Own an 8-acre plot at Havana Estate, Nakuru at 599,000 only.